Hey, so first unfiltered video, so let's get right into it. And I'm just gonna talk about my origin story, I guess, and specifically the night I really changed and changed the person I was. And so it was like I knew I needed to change, but I kept just rotting away in my bed, and like I kept going back to bad habits. I couldn't get out of my addictions. I wanted to start working out, but I was just always relying on motivation. I'd like work out for 2 weeks and then I would stop for like 4 months straight. And so it was always, I always knew that I was doing something wrong, but I never changed it. And so this is back like late 2022 into early 2023. And I basically try to run away from my pains. And I got a girlfriend. Some of you might know this, but the OGs know this. But I basically got this girlfriend to run away from my happiness and or from my problems, not happiness. But I ran away from my problems, and I thought this girlfriend was going to save my life. I thought that like that a girl was the answer to everything. And so I got this girlfriend. I dated her for like 2 months. It wasn't everything. It never got serious or anything like that. And I realized it was just adding on more problems in my life, because at the time my little brother was battling cancer. Like, it was a super stressful time in my life. And so eventually I realized it was just time to end things. And I was so scared to do it. I was literally like crying. Like, I was so scared, bro. It wasn't even like, it was bad. Like, I was having straight up anxiety because I was scared what she was gonna say. I was like, I don't know why I was, but I was silly. I was a silly boy. And so I remember the night I broke up with her, not the very next day, or I can't exactly remember. It was either the very next day or the day after that. I started working out, and it was just at home. I have a very bad little thing to work out with, or like little, it's kind of like, you could look it up. It's like Bowflex is what it's called. And it's not very good. It's a super old one. And so I just started using that, and I worked out every day that like week. And it was again off complete motivation. Like, it was going to burn out at some point. But I worked out probably 3 to 4 weeks consistently. And I remember I was still down bad. Like, I was still scrolling every night, like an hour or two into the night. And that might not be as bad as some people, but for me, that personally, that was like, that I felt super trash after doing that. And I remember scrolling. I was like an hour into scrolling on social media, like just doom scrolling. And I had this thought. It was like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what are you doing with your life? You are rotting away. And I was like, I have to do something. I have to become better. My mental health was terrible at the time. And like, I was desperate. Like, I think I was like, I was pretty emotional. Like, I was a pretty emotional kid 2, 3 years ago. And, or even 1 to 2 years ago. So like, this was March 2023. And I remember just like starting to cry. And I was like, I have to change. There has to be something more there. I have to be destined for something else. And I was in this, and so I was starting to try to find things. I was like, hold up. I'm in this Discord, and it was called The Kingdom. And basically, hold up. I'm going to shut this door real quick. But basically, I was in this Discord server. It was a NoFap Discord server, and because I was struggling with this addiction at the time, and I was like, hold up. There's this guy in this server, and he's like a YouTuber, and he usually talks about like life and like life advice and stuff. And I didn't know him at all at the time, but his YouTube channel is called The Legend. And shout out to you, Dale, for saving my life, basically. But so basically, I watched one of his videos, and he mentioned something about this other YouTuber called Hamza. And most of you have probably heard of this guy. And so I was like, I should check him out. And I think I watched 3 or 4 videos that night of Hamza, and I was like, yo, this guy, he speaks the truth. This is the gospel. And I was like, I gotta start meditating. And so I started meditating. I started gratitude journaling. And pretty soon, I'm full on into self-improvement. And I went like a month without fapping. And I was like, I feel amazing. Like, my mental health is starting to get better. And it was only like a month into self-improvement. And that's how I changed. I hit rock bottom. And what happens when you get to the bottom? When there's nowhere else to go except for one direction. And that is up. That's the only way to get out of rock bottom, is up. You can't stay there forever, because you'll just rot away. You can't be a loser forever. You're destined for more. I was destined for more. I look back and I'm very grateful for my past self, for developing so much. And I thank Dale. Thank you, Dale, for everything. He's a very good friend of mine now, one of my best friends. And genuinely, I would not be here without you, bro. So I thank you. And you're genuinely one of my inspirations. So that's also gratitude for you. Yeah, check out the main channel. Watch my main content. I typically teach social skills. And so, because that's been the main thing I've developed over the year. And so, yeah, it's basically, that's where I am. That's how I started. That's how this all got started. So yeah, if you're at rock bottom, bro, you got to start somewhere. You got to start climbing up. If you want my one-to-one help, check the top link in the description. Check out and subscribe to the main channel. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate you all.